Hey folks, and welcome back to West Yorkshire Retro Gamer. It's prediction time. All the other YouTube content creators have done theirs, well, most of them have. I usually do mine, certainly for Premier League and Championship, a day before the seasons start, but I'm just going to get them in now. I don't think about what's going to change. What they're going to do, make one or two signings, or lose one or two players. I don't think there's going to be a right lot in it between now and when the Championship starts. So, let's get straight into it. We'll do them alphabetically. I'll put them into the relevant categories to start with, and then when they're all in the relevant categories, I will then arrange them into what I think will be the likely 1 to 24. So, with that being said, Birmingham, playoff. The amount of money they've spent and who they've spent it on, you know, when you've got that kind of ownership that's extremely rich and they can spend 30 million in League One, they're going to spend even more, or at least that in the Championship, to build on that, aren't they? And, you know, with the signings they're making, I mean, Kyogo, Furuhashi, I mean, he should score goals for fun, even though he's 30-year-old now. He should be electric in this division, I would think, and that should be enough to get Birmingham a top 6. My only doubt is I think they've signed James Beadle on loan, and the young goalkeeper has a lot to learn yet, in my opinion. That's the only area that I think Birmingham needed to strengthen more than what they have. That's probably the difference between them getting top 2 and top 6, I think. They're going to be heavily reliant on a solid defence to take the pressure off Beadle. But otherwise, yeah, top 6 comfortably. The signings put them way ahead of the teams that have been in the Championship a while and haven't made that many good signings. You know, it really makes a difference when you can develop your squad and enhance it with better talent, which Birmingham seemingly have quite a bit. So there we go. Blackburn. I think with the full season in charge with Ismail, I think there's a chance at top half. They haven't made a lot of signings, and they've lost a couple of fullbacks. I think they have signed one in replacement, or one's gone and one's possibly going, I think. I'm not going off any squad information, just little bits that I've heard over the last few weeks, but nothing more. For now, I'll put Blackburn top half. Bristol City. I think they might struggle a little. They won't get playoffs this time. Losing Manning ain't going to help matters. And I think maybe they slightly overachieved. And under a new manager, they're going to have to get used to new ways of doing things. So for now, God, do I put them top half or bottom half? Bottom half for now, I might bump them up. Let's see how things go. Charlton. A couple of weeks ago, I would have said Charlton drop zone. But they have made a lot of signings. They are really trying hard to develop their squad to a Championship level. And they've made quite a lot of changes. Their only major outgoing that's of real significance is Thierry Small. But even though he's a talented player at this level, he is unproven at this level, and he's only about 20 or 21 year old. So, you know, aside from that, I think they've made some pretty good astute signings, so I think they might stay up. So I'll put them bottom half for now. Coventry, top half, quite frankly. See what I did there? He's the reason they won't get top 6. So, I'll leave it at that. Squad's good enough. Let's get a better manager than Lampard. Derby, they've got a good manager Is the squad good enough? Is it good enough to avoid drop zone this time? Last season, I think I had you very close to going down. If not going down, so bottom half this time, but towards, I think you're going to be pushing higher towards mid-table, I would say. Hull City. Now they've got a transfer embargo, but they can still sign players. They just can't. It's a bit like Cardiff's from a couple of seasons ago. They can sign frees and loans, they just can't buy anyone. Is that going to drop them? Or can they survive? They didn't stay up by much last season, did they? If truth be told. I might change my mind later, but for now, I'm going to say Hull go down. Just purely because they can't buy anyone. Ipswich, auto promotion, still got a lot of the players that they bought that were top end Championship players when they got promoted to Premier League, and you know they basically bought with that in mind. They had a strong inkling they were going to go down, so they thought, well, we'll buy some of the best performing players of that season that was in the Championship that they got promoted in, and they've still got most of them. Their squad should be a powerhouse, there or thereabouts, and almost certainty for top two. Even if they lose McKenna, the squad's still good enough. If some other team snaps him up, yeah, can't see anything changing there, to be honest. So yeah, there we go. Really, Leicester playoff. The points deduction for me, and they are going to get one as far as I can tell, is what is likely to stop them from getting top two. But the squad should still be good enough, even if they get the rumoured 9-point deduction, the squad should still be good enough for top six. Simple as that, really. Middlesbrough, I think they've got rid of the problem that was stopping them from getting top six on a regular basis. They've got rid of Carrick. But they're not starting the season with Doak. They haven't re-signed him on loan. They have still got Azaz. Striker position needs sorting out, I think. Albeit they've still got Conway, haven't they? He's reasonable, I think. Is Conway at Middlesbrough? Am I getting that right? Or did he go to Leicester? I don't know. I haven't kept up with Championship this summer because my team are in Premier League now, so this really is off the cuff. So they brought in former Luton guy, didn't they? Whose name slips my mind. Who did a very good job with Luton until he got sacked because when Luton came down they were rubbish. You know, when you consider the players they still had at the time, they were well underperformed and got what they deserved, which was a relegation. Rob Edwards, isn't it, I think? I think I've got that right. So, yeah. I think it should still be top half. It's got to be on it. Millwall. Millwall are going to be like, they're either going to be 12th or 13th, aren't they? You know, they're going to be one or t'other. There's not much more to say on Millwall. They are the stereotypical mid-table Championship team. Norwich, I think they'll be towards the top of the top half that doesn't get in the playoff. I think they looks like they're recruiting really well. That's where Manning's gone as well, isn't it? But I think Manning's going to Norwich with a better squad than the squad he had at Bristol City. So I think top half for Norwich. If they can buy into him, and if he can buy into them quick enough. Made a couple of good signings as well. They were kind of obviously knew they were going to lose Sayans, and Sargent might still go, but I think he's still there actually. But they brought in, is it Kvistgaarden or something? Some Scandinavian striker who looks like he might be a bit of a handful, among a couple of other decent looking players. And if they've tightened up the defence, then they could be in good nick. Certainly an improvement on last season anyway. Oxford, similar to Derby, I think they will be, um, closer to mid-table this time. The full season around it'll be defensive, um, but it'll be organised, and you know, there's every chance that they can do that. And very much the same with Portsmouth. They kept Mazzino for the whole season, didn't they? And again, I think the three that came up last time round, instead of them kind of hovering around just above the relegation zone, I think all three will be kind of pushing towards mid-table. Preston, I think, might struggle. So for now, I'll put them bottom half. I don't know where in the bottom half yet. Julian Steffens, the new manager at QPR. Don't know anything about him, but I think they've kept most of the best players. I think they've only let Ken Powell go, the fullback, who was quite good. But they brought in that. Oh no, they lost Kelman, haven't they? Has Kelman gone to Charlton? I think he has, hasn't he? Yeah, I think QPR should have they should have sorted out the contract situation with Kelman way earlier, because he had a cracking season in League One, didn't he? 23-year-old, he'd be primed to be given a go. So that might be the difference between QPR getting top half and bottom half, but I think for now it's bottom half, and it's got to be. Sheffield United playoff. They were in it last season. They've lost Wilder, but squad's still fairly strong, albeit they've lost all the loan players. Have they got Sellers now, the guy that was at Hull? I think so. So yeah, I think they'll be there or thereabouts. Got to be, haven't they? I think so. Wednesday, bottom. Feel sorry for Emmet Pedersen. He's just taken over as manager from Roll, hasn't he? That is a dire situation at Wednesday right now. Very dire. Don't like the look of it at all. I mean, for the fans' sake, I hope everything gets sorted out. But you've got half a squad. I mean, thankfully for yourselves, you've kept Bannon, which is, the experience factor is going to be crucial, isn't it? So, but you're going to have to. I don't know. Until Chanziri sells for probably nearer 50 million instead of the 100 that he wants. It's League One for Wednesday. I mean, they've barely got a squad. They're going to be playing half of their academy, or the subs bench is going to be their academy, the way things are going. So yeah, pretty rough. So as I say, hopefully for their fans' sake, hopefully things improve. But I don't think it'll happen this season. Maybe next, if they go down to League One. Because I mean, Chanziri can't demand 100 million in League One. He'll then have to be realistic, sell for about 50 if you can find anyone that would buy the club for 50. And I'm only saying 50 as a ballpark figure. You need him to sell for something, so that the new owner can pump some money into the club and get some players in. And to be honest, even if you were just drafting in some frees and loans, just develop the squad in terms of depth. You've got none. Your two most creative players were the two wingers, Masaba and Gassama, and they've gone. And you've lost a shed load of other players. Windass, he had a really good goal scoring season, didn't he? So he's gone. As I say, you were on verge of losing Bannon. So, I mean, for all of his faults, you've not got Beadle either. So, I don't know. Lost a lot of players. Yeah. I'll move on from that. But yeah, hopefully things change. Southampton. Top two. I couldn't even tell you who's manager Oh, it's still in it. Will Still. That's it. Aye, yeah. Memory completely slipped my mind there. It was really bad. But yeah, he's English fellow that's developed a reputation overseas, isn't he? And done quite well. So ultimately, I think he's got some very strong championship tools in the shape of Southampton, hasn't he? Plenty of money available to spend if he wanted to. I don't know what the squad's like. I haven't looked. But it can't be that bad, can it? So yeah, I think that's pretty sensible, really. Right now, at this point, I'm just looking at who's remaining. Right, yeah. Stoke relegated. They've been toying with the bottom half of the Championship since they got relegated from the Premier League, and that seems like an age ago. And again, they only just scraped survival last season. They weren't right good. And this is despite constantly having a squad that's pretty reasonable for Championship standards. But they've lost one of their best players, and certainly their best midfielder in Wouter Berger. He's gone. He's gone to Offenheim because Leeds have signed on Stack, so he's part of the replacement package for Offenheim's midfield. But either way, Stoke can't keep hovering, and a club the size of Stoke, who for a long, long time before they went up to Premier League, they were kind of like a Millwall. They were a very established Championship team, and then all of a sudden, Pulis got them playing some pretty dire but very effective football, got them promoted, and they spent about 10 seasons in Premier League before going down. And since they've come down, I think they've always been in bottom half. And they've had a couple of seasons where they've only just survived. So I think it's about time, and Stoke fans, don't take this the wrong way, but I really believe you're going down, and going down to League One might not be the worst thing in the world for you. Just get a complete, a different mentality completely. And it'll probably be a bit of an overhaul of players, but just get a different mentality. The Coates family, I think, still own you, don't they? Or they've got part ownership. They're decent enough owners, but you don't do anything any season since you've come down. It's never a good thing financially to go down, but at least it gives you a chance of making a bit of a clean slate and building again. Several teams have done it in the past. Yeah, I don't know. Right, we've got 4 teams remaining. Let me just have a quick scan now and see what's remaining. I've got 1 more for playoff. Yep, I know who that is. 2 more for top half then, isn't it? Yep. So which 2 out of this motley crew is going to finish top half? Ugh. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. That must mean just 1 more for the bottom half section, shouldn't it? So, 9 there for 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So 1 more bottom up. Right. Okay. So I'll tell you what I'll do then. Okay. Swansea top half, I think. Just about. Yeah. Not much to say on Swansea really. Only that they were doing quite well towards the end of the season. I've got my doubts over Sheehan, but at least Sheehan's come in and done a good job with them up to now, hasn't he? Sheehan was at Leeds as a player and he was poor. But he seems to be getting a tune out of Swansea in terms of managing them since I think he was part of the backroom staff, and then he got the job full time, didn't he? I think. So yeah, I think he might do all right. If they can build on the form that they finished the season last season, anyway. Now this is a big come down, and I'm putting them down in the bottom half for one reason and one reason only. I don't rate the manager, Ryan Mason. He had some very strong tools at Tottenham Hotspur when he had those caretaker spells, and all of those caretaker matches, there's a lot of matches there. And despite his young age for a manager, he's actually reasonably experienced now. And he's a very experienced coach. He's spent a lot of years as a coach now, hasn't he? But I don't like his attitude. He spat his dummy out when Leeds have come up against Spurs in the past. When he was, I think that was one of his caretaker roles at the time. And I just don't rate him. He's had all the tools in the world at Tottenham and couldn't get anything out of them. So, yeah. And you know, this is his first time managing a club where he's got the role full time. You know, you could argue that he's been trained, you know, with a lot of facilities and all this kind of thing. And West Brom usually have a fairly solid squad for this division, flirting with the playoffs and all that kind of thing. But I think they'll be top of the bottom half this season. I really do. And that's down to Mason. Like, you're not going to get relegated, and you might still have a slim chance of playoffs. I think anyone in top half, and maybe even a smidge of the bottom half, might have a chance for the top six. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the appointment of Mason at all. He's got a lot to prove, and needs to mature as a person, because I felt he was very immature when things didn't go his way. So yeah, there we go. So I'm going to take a punt on Watford just sneaking into 12th. New fella, who knows? Pozzo's in it. Those Pozzos know how to sack managers. Like another Chileno, aren't they, really? But they did give, what's his face, that's gone to Plymouth and had a bad start, Cleverly. I think they gave him like a whole season, or almost a whole season, didn't they? So they are capable of keeping someone. But yeah, I think Watford might just scrape top half. Just about. Not by much. Or is it Struber that's taken over at Bristol? It's just come to mind. I think, isn't it Gerard Struber that's just taken over him? Well, he didn't do so bad when he was in Championship, actually, did he? He did okay. Did he get Barnsley playoff? Right, you know what? Because I did say I was going to have a little look at things anyway. Last team's Wrexham, 6th. I think they sneak playoffs. You know, with Reynolds and the other fella, Rob. Weird surname. McElhenney, McElney, Muck something. Who cares? I hadn't heard of the other guy. But Reynolds and his pal have pumped in a lot of money at Wrexham. Stuck with Parkinson from the start, as far as I'm aware, which is interesting. But I mean, again, why would you sack a manager that's doing well? Makes you wonder, because some clubs do it. But they've invested quite well. They've left it a bit late in the window, but it does look like the squad is starting to develop into a very strong top half, at the very least top half Championship squad. And the thing is that they've got all the financial means in the world to put even more into it if things aren't quite going their way, or if they feel they need a little bit extra to push it even further. So that to me makes sense in that regard. So let's start placing teams, shall we? Bottom Wednesday. I don't think there's any argument there, quite frankly. And just because it's the embargo, I'll put Hull next, and then Stoke in the third to bottom place. Right, now just narrowly avoiding out of this motley crew in bottom half. Let's have a look. In all previous predictions, I was putting Charlton right in the drop zone, so I can't really push them up that far, can I really? I don't think Preston look all that great. I'm going to put Preston just narrowly avoiding, because I don't rate Eckenbottom either, and they've got Ridsdale on board. He'll ruin them. So, yeah, because again, they always say about how they never have any money at Preston. Well, look at who owns you. Well, look at your chairman. No wonder. It's a toss-up between Charlton and QPR next. I think with the unknown quantity of the QPR manager, I'll keep them there. Then Charlton. Right. Then all the new boys from previous season. Derby's made a lot of signings, haven't they? Quite experienced ones for that matter. Yeah, I haven't, and I think Bishop injured for the start of the season. Portsmouth played better when they had Bishop in. Him and that other fella, Lang. When they've got those two fit, they're useful, aren't they? But missing either of those, it's kind of like Sainz and Sargent at Norwich. If they didn't have both of those playing, it would be a different story. So I'll go Portsmouth next, then Derby, then Oxford. Right, now we've got this situation here between Swansea, Watford, Bristol and Millwall. Because Struber's had experience in this division, and the new guy at Watford hasn't, obviously. So I'm going to switch those. I'll put Bristol up, bring Watford down. Do I put Millwall one up? I think it makes sense. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll put Millwall 13th, Watford 14th, I'll put Bristol 12th. Swansea 11th, yep. I think Norwich have a good season, you know. I really do. I think they might just miss out. I'm going to bump them right up. Blackburn next, yeah. I'll go Middlesbrough and then Coventry, I think. Yep, I'm happy with that. Next, the playoffs. Where are these boys all finishing? Wrexham 6th, I think. I think that's sensible. 9 points. 9 points. It's a lot, isn't it? Yeah, I'll put Leicester 5th. Birmingham 4th, Sheffield 3rd, Sheffield United 3rd, I think. Is that a bit too kind to Birmingham? It's a big ask. It's a big ask. But again, it's all that finance, isn't it? They've spent and spent, brought all these new players in. Stuck with manager. A bit like, you know what? Wrexham have done. Stuck with Parkinson, they've stuck with Davies, haven't they? And again, no reason not to, is there? Like Davies is unproven at this level. Parkinson's experienced pretty much every division, hasn't he? So, yeah, I think I'll go with that. I think I'm alright with that. And then, yep, Southampton second, Ipswich first. Yeah, there we have it, folks. Done in half an hour. That's quick for me, so doing these championship predictions. Flipping heck. Yeah, good stuff. I'm reasonably okay with all that, I think. Hold on. Oh, I've missed West. Oops. I don't think West Brom will do that bad. God, I'm glad I spotted that. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they won't do that bad. How did West Brom end up that low? 13th. West Brom. Yeah, I'll go with that. So 14th Millwall, 15th Watford. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oops. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah. Squad's good enough to be mid-table. It's just the manager that I think's a bit. Yeah. All right. No, we'll go with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm glad I double checked everything there now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright with that. So those are my predictions, folks. Take them all with a truck full of salt. Not a right lot of research has gone into it. Just little bits that I've seen and heard on transfer videos of other content creators and stuff in terms of who's gone where and all that kind of thing. No, I don't think I'll be a million miles away with those predictions. And we'll see what happens. You know, I could be completely wrong. Don't matter. Just a bit of fun. So, yeah, there we have it, folks. Those are my official championship predictions for the 25-26 season. Put your 1 to 24s in the comments down below. Do it. Let's see how different yours are to mine. There's a very strong chance that your predictions will be far more knowledgeable than mine. Thankfully, my team aren't in the championship anymore, so I don't need to worry about it. But super competitive. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There's been a lot of spending. A lot of big spending going on in championship, so maybe that will tip certain teams over the balance, if you like. And yeah, who do you reckon? Who do you reckon is going to be top scorer? I think Ferrahashi's got a chance, hasn't he? I think Keelogo's got a chance. If he replicates what he did at Celtic, and I know it's the Scottish League, but I don't know. Give the guy the service. Yeah, I think he has a chance. I'm not 100% sure about who the other strikers are. I mean, as a dark horse, maybe Kelman, because he knows where the net is. He's been banging him in for fun in League One, hasn't he? So, would he be a dark horse for the golden boot of the championship? I don't know. Is there any chance that Sheffield Wednesday avoid having the worst championship season of all time? You know, not taking in, you know, not including teams that were given walloping points deductions. You know, just ones without the points deductions. Can Sheffield Wednesday avoid? You know, with that squad they've got, it's so threadbare. Can they avoid being the worst championship team of all time? I don't know. Time will tell on that one. At least they haven't got Rooney in charge. That'd guarantee failure, wouldn't it? Anything else standing out for me? Be interesting to see how these new managers get on that have never managed in England before. The 3 teams coming up from League One, Can they do as well as I've predicted them to do? I think Charlton might do a little better than where I've put them actually. I genuinely had Charlton in the drop zone. I had them relegated a few weeks ago, but they've strengthened the squad. They really have. They've made it a lot better. So I think they've got a genuine chance of punching above the weight a little bit. You know, similar kind of performance to what Oxford, Derby, and Portsmouth did last season. I think for Charlton. I think they'll do that kind of level. Very, very tight between Watford, Millwall, West Brom, Bristol and Swansea for me. Could be very close between the four above them. Coventry, Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Norwich, I think. You know, that could be a... You know, I would anticipate that those four might keep in touching distance of the top six, but could this be a season where the top six run away with it? Could they confirm their top six places with like a month to go or something? You know, like could it really be that big a situation? Because when you look at the top six, you got parachute team, playoff finalists from last season, financially back to the hilt, and winners of League One, so they've got momentum on their side. Parachute team, and other heavily financially backed team that got promoted from League One. And again, momentum goes on their side as well. So they've got multiple promotions. It's just been a constant rise, isn't it? The only slight concern for Wrexham might be, if they do start losing games, what do? Because they've not really experienced it for a long time now. You know, there's promotion from National League, promotion from League 2, promotion from League 1. That's 3 seasons where they've not lost many games. So if they do start losing games, I mean they'll probably sack Parkinson for starters, and then probably bring in some kind of flashy manager because they can afford to do so. Yeah, I don't know. But if they keep that momentum going the way it has been, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that if they're always in top half, I think they probably keep Parkinson and they go again next season. Anything in bottom half, I think maybe owners get a bit twitchy. And you'd have to say it's same for Birmingham as well. There's a bit of pressure on Davies to perform with all of the financial tools that are at his disposal. So, again, there's that bit of pressure there. Leicester are likely to have a relatively strong squad, but they haven't got many goalkeepers. A goalkeeping situation he's dealing with, that's very weird. From what I remember, I think two of them are gone, and Ermanson might be on his way out as well. That leaves them very short. I think they've got. Is it Stolarczyk, the backup? I don't know. Can't remember. I know Ward and Iverson left. I mean, again, you still expect a squad that's going to be good. That El Canouce ain't likely to hang around, and obviously Vardy's retired. But I don't know. We'll see what happens at Leicester. I think they've just into Cifuentes that they've appointed, former QPR. So he seemed to do quite well with QPR, didn't he? So he might do alright there. He's got more resources at least, anyway. So that's that really, folks. So yeah, put your 1 to 24s in the comments below. Do take it with a truck of salt. It's not an overly knowledgeable set of predictions, these. I don't think I'll be a million miles away with a lot of them. I think I might get a few of them quite right. But I think there's a strong chance I get a few wrong as well. But it's all fine, just a bit of fun. So yeah, put your 1 to 24s in the comments down below. And let me know if you think that I am miles out with any of these. Or if you think that some of them are quite accurate. Let's find out. In the meantime, do please give the video a like. Do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, with that being said, enjoy the championship season ahead. And then I'll see you next time. Bye for now.